Welcome everybody, and this is some Monster Hunter Wilds gameplay. And I got it. I got the big one, guys. This is Gogmazios, 10 stars. I got him. And this is I believe my 6th run of me completing him, actually beating him. Only my 6th time ever on it. This is some really hefty footage. I believe I'm gonna put something in there. I got one that I was so close. We did really good. I'm not gonna put the whole thing on there. I'll just show you what happened at the end. And you can point the finger at me. Let's just say that, but it's good. I'll edit it in here. But anyway, so this is my setup here off of it for Gog. Off it, stun resistance 2, part breaker 2, evade extender 2, burst level 1. Of course, you got the oil slick on there, my jewels. This one's for crit element and blaze with handicraft and iron wall with a crit element. And then, of course, guard up level 3. I always do that on it. And I believe that one's with handicraft, if I remember properly, because that's how I get the level 2 handicraft out of this build, was those two off of it. And of course, you use fire at the beginning. I will let you know when I end up switching. I do it pretty early on the first phase. Off it, I'll switch to dragon and just stay on dragon for the rest of the fight, all the way till the end on it. But I'm really hoping that this footage here ends up being the best quality footage that I end up putting out. I end up recording this in a better codex format, and I'm hoping this turns out the way I want it to be, but we'll see. So the first thing you do is you run up behind them there. Always get that free damage, not bad damage. Grab those fire pods. After that, you grab those fire pods. Be ready, because he's gonna roar. As you can see, he does it every time off of this. Immediately after this point, I go for these vents, because it's a lot easier when I'm by myself to get the Gogmazios on these vents. So I try to get these done immediately. This is one of my objectives, and I would suggest you guys do this too on it. So you can see, boom. And I don't hit them too hard either. Like this one, you can see I tap them a little bit. I think this one I must have did pretty good on it. But as you can see on some of them, I'll just graze them. Even if you only get like 2,000 damage or 4,000, say if you get two ticks, take that. That's extra damage. You want that. So anyways, here, just be careful. How he raises up. He can change in mid-direction on drop, so be careful with that. So right here, this is what I do. I just do the signal. This helps put my the NPC hunters towards where I want them to be. So helps a lot. But anyway, so we shoot fire pods again. That's all I'm doing. And once you light them up, just start fighting them, and then you're just gonna get the proc damage. And if you do enough damage to him, he will drop on it, so it's really nice if you get that to happen. And just be careful on this. The only thing I can say to that right there, you see those little forearm arm ones? Be careful with that, because it'll mess you up on your block. It's happened to me quite a bit. It happened there. So if you notice, it hit me on that one. So if you're in that area where those little ones land on it, it can mess up your blocking, because those land first. For some reason, it throws me off, and it's happened multiple times. That's the reason why I'm saying that. It's happened to me quite a few times, actually. So anyways, at this point, I'm just make sure I'm healing pretty decent there, so my health's not too low. And then I'm just trying to stay close to his face and his wings. That's basically all of stage 1 there. So I'm between doing that, trying to look at for the boulder there. Eventually I do end up dropping. You can see already I'm already planning it, and you'll see what ends up happening here. But I end up blocking that. Perfect block. Bam. Do that. He ends up doing one here. As you can see, I ended up denying a few people. He was a long sword. That one was iffy. I was capturing footage, guys. I wanted this for you guys. I really did on it. And I was playing serious. So I was being picky on who I picked to bring into this match, as you could see. And so that was the reason why. It was no hard feelings. If that guy ever ends up seeing this video, I'm sorry, buddy. It was nothing personal on it. It's just you were iffy off it. Just being longsword in general. You were high enough level, but for this, how serious I was, I just wasn't taking that chance. That was the only reason why. I think this guy drops out. Yeah, he does. So he messes it up. Here's an example. You see, look, we're down one man. Luckily, we're on stage 1, so this was not too bad of a hit. But you get what I'm saying here. Be careful with that. So when you're accepting like that and they withdraw, you lose your guy until he comes back and you put him back in and he comes in. It can hurt you pretty bad. So be careful with that on it. That's the only downside by doing this. But you know what? You're going to see. I end up getting W. You know, so even out of all of that, it still ended up working out on me on the end. And this wasn't perfect, you know. So here we go. We get our drop. So I like going to the face, but you can do both. That, wings, that's totally fine. Just doing damage. At this point, I already switched to dragon. So I'm in dragon at this point already on this match. And I'm going to be on dragon sword the entire time at this point. I'm not switching. Bam. Block it. I only blocked it. I didn't perfect guard it, unfortunately. And at this point, right to the face. Bam. Perfect block. Bam, bam, bam. Trying to get some damage there. Set myself up. Block again. Hitting him again. Trying to do both. That's my little secret here. Because you can't do the full Reaper and charge chop there. Because he moves by that time. I've done it quite a few times. You don't have enough time for it. So if you do it early and do, you know, the Y and B, you know how you cut that early on it, you can get that and get those ticks in. I'm telling you, it works really good. I do it quite a bit for that reason alone on it. And hopefully you can maybe utilize that for your sword and shield play style, you know, for the future. So that's what I'm doing there, trying to get the most tick damage as I can as possible. You understand how element works on it. The more hits you get, the better it works. So, and I've noticed that it works a lot better that way. So that's the reason why. Even though it is lower damage, I'm still getting more damage because of how fast I'm retaining that, and it keeps reoccurring. It's only like two hits, and I'm already going back to charge chop. See, bam, right there. So every time, that's all tick damage for elemental, you know. So, and elemental crit too. Let me remind you, I am running elemental crit level 3 on that. I am running Radal armor. It's four of them. Look how fast I cut through him. Here is proof. Please do this. I have tested this multiple times. Okay? You need to switch to dragon early like I did. Use fire. You know, dab him up. You need to loosen him up. You got to get that oil off him, right? But after that, I'm talking about the first few minutes off. You see how early it is. I switched to dragon already a few minutes ago at this point. I ended up doing that. That wasn't too bad, but I did it a little early, so he dropped out. I took off. Bam. I'm going down there. I'm doing damage. I'm like, I was serious on this. I really wanted this for you guys. And this is some great footage. It really is. This is a good fight. So anyways, you can see on that, when you go back down there, though, he's got it all lit up down there. All you got to do is pop a jerky. As long as you don't get touched, you'll be okay on that. You won't lose anything, and that's what I do right there. See? At this point, though, I need to get the cool thing, so I'm just grabbing that on that. Boom, I'm good. I'm back in the game. So make sure you be careful. This is my sweet spot for him. As in, like, for the spot when I'm fighting with him is right there in the area with his claws. It could be left or right. That doesn't matter. I typically try to be where my other teammates are at for multiple reasons. One, gives it multiple damage because we're in the same spot. And two, I have Omega armor. So when my teammates are by me, I get more affinity. So I want to be by them. Sometimes they float away from me, and I hate that because it just tells me right there they don't have either have shockproof or flinch free. And it's frustrating, you know. I mean, we were playing the top, the hardest. This is the hardest fight. Let me remind you, there is nothing harder than this fight right here on it. There is not. The other videos that I have there, they're close. That Savage Omega video and the Big Four. The Big Four is definitely harder than Savage Omega. I would put that. I would give the hat. I'll give the nod to that one, and then I would put this one on top. That's my opinion. You know, I'm not saying this is fact. But for my opinion, that's how I would label these, as in, you know, which one's the hardest and everything. That's why I really wanted this one, because I wanted to get you guys the best so you can see my skill level on it, you know. I'm going to put out some other videos. I'm going to do Liggy. I need to do Shia. I had a Shia video, the 10-star one. I lost it, unfortunately. It was when I was first learning how to edit, because I am using DaVinci Resolve on it. It's one of the better ones for free software, so I wanted to use the best that I can for you guys. So that's what I'm recording it. It's what I'm, you know, encoding it under, but for the editor software, say that. But what I'm actually using is NVIDIA Shadow Play on it. That's how I'm recording it. But I do got OBS too as well. I haven't tried it on there. I've done live, as you see. I've done some tests, but I can record on there too as well on it, but I've just been using Shadow Play. It seems like it's been capturing just fine, but I may try the other one. but I got to see how good that footage ends up turning out, you know, on it. But anyways, so you're doing the same thing at this point here. Once you drop and he comes through there, you're just hitting him. You just got to be careful when he hits. As you see, when he roars there at that point on it, I perfect block it so I can get as much damage as possible. I'm trying to not stop. This is key. This guy has a lot of health. I'm sure everyone knows this. He really does. And at this point, I almost got him. I know how to do that, and I've done it before on it a few times. I was just a little off there, but I can time that where I can get the charge chop right on his face like that. I've done it before. But as you can see, that's another little trick too on it. I'll try every little thing I can. I ended up not doing the one trick that I was telling you guys on stage 3 where you can drop the boulders, but I'm letting you know it can be done. I have done it multiple times. I didn't want to risk it on this video because I had a good enough team and I knew how good they were on it when I realized how quick that we were passing through damage markers and all that stuff, like this phase here, the first phase. You see how quick we were pushing through. Now it's me too, but I'm not all of it. I can't do it myself like this, like, you know, with the Ford. You know, the health pool's too big. I've tried it before. No, you gotta have a good team, you know, for this right here. That's another thing too. That's why I didn't want to pull. When you get to these top monsters, you really can't carry people. Really, everybody's got to hold their own. I'm sorry, but it's totally true. I know that's a hot topic, but this really is. This one, Savage Omega, the Big Four, you know, the Proof of the Hero, any of those ones, man, everybody's got to pull their end. You know, they're the hardest. These are the hardest fights in this game. You know, like I said before in my last video, Capcom is expecting you to be at the top of your game. They really do on it. That's why it's so hard, you know. Now, I have my personal grievances when it comes to this fight here personally on it. I like stage 1. I like this stage. I'm not a big fan of stage 3, but I have gotten better at it. And actually, this gameplay actually does implement quite a few of my fighting style now in fighting him. You gotta be very aggressive when you're in with a sword or just a weapon, like a sword weapon in general. You gotta be really aggressive because obviously he's flying around everywhere. And if you're not hitting him enough, and I know you can use, you know, the pods, but you will run out eventually, you know, so you need to be hitting them too, you know, and you'll see my strategy there. We ended up having quite a bit because my team was doing really well. And a shout out to you guys. You guys did really well, Mr. Greed. The only thing I had with you, and you'll see in stage 3, you did it to me twice, and you'll see what ends up happening. I won't ruin the surprise. But he was my only issue on that. He kind of almost had it, you know, we could have lost this whole thing just because he was not being very bright, and I almost feel like he was doing that on purpose. You'll see. But anyways, at this point, we just broke that off. See how quick we got that gun right off of his back, off of it. So at this point, more damage, DPS time. That's exactly what I'm doing. Just bam, bam, bam. I'm doing Y, and then I'll switch in between that, and I'll do B2 as well to get the more of the damage on it. But you want to be careful. I'm waiting for those right there. And the trick to that is, as you can see, I'll block those every time. The trick to it is a double block. So you block, let go for a second, block again. Do not move the left stick. If you move, it will put you in that animation, and once that have to see, bam, perfect. By the second one, it doesn't matter because, you know, I know I'm good. But make sure when you do the first block that you do not move, because if you do, it'll put you in the animation. You will get hit. Trust me. But if you're wondering how that's done, that's how you do it. And it works across the board for all those. For multi-hits in general. As you can see, that gun is charged up. So you understand that? Because I see some people don't know this. When you see that thing being charged on the side, you see how it's fully glowed all the way to the tip. Do you see that? That gun's ready to fire. But I'm just so focused on damage right now. It doesn't really matter because we're going to hit him with it. Fully charged, 67,000 damage. So, you know. So at this point, it's not like we're wasting. I'm just trying to put damage out right now. We're getting that 67,000 regardless. You know, unless we do push them out without using it. But that's not the case here. That can be done, so you know, too. I've done that before, but that was right at the beginning on the first, I think it was at the 9-star one, you know, when that first came out. Because I didn't know what I was doing. But you can see that. Look how bright it is. All the way to the tip. All the way to the, to the muzzle of that gun. And then, of course, he fires it now. He drops. Doing damage. I hit him in the face, you know, of course on this, because you have to. It's the way he falls here. So do as much damage as you can. On it, damage. I end up getting a wound there. Since I have Part Breaker. Look how quick we end up dropping him. But yeah, Part Breaker level 2. Between that and the high crit chance, all that stuff. on it. That does really good damage. But anyways, we dropped him really good there. That was under 15 minutes. I bet you that might have been 13 minutes and some change. Passing stage 2. I don't know if this is my best. No, this is not my best run because I've already told you guys. So I've beaten him. This will be my 6th time in total. I've beaten him 3 times in the 26 marker. 26:10, I believe, is my fastest time. This was 27:22. So, you know, literally a minute and 10 seconds slower. So, you know, barely. And actually, if the dude did what he did and another person, you know, because them dying off that totally slows everything down. You know, so say if that didn't happen, just saying, yeah, we could have cut that time. We probably could have beat my time, actually, if that didn't occur, to be honest with you. Because that was only a minute and 10 seconds, so, and they died twice that I can recall. So that definitely would have, you know, upped up the time dramatically. Maybe even more than I think, who knows, you know. But anyways, at this point, you see how he's turning? His wings are so spread out, you can actually drop either one of those boulders on each side and hit him. I didn't want to risk it, because I was wanting to get this footage for you guys to actually complete, you know, of actually beating him on, you know, on a recording on it. So anyways, at this point, what you're doing is you want to grab it immediately. I go up there because when he starts doing his crazy stuff, when he starts spinning, he won't hit you up there. So you can just chill up there for a few seconds. Then he notices you. You got to get down, like you saw I did. So anyways, I'm trying to get him over here. They end up dropping, you know, partially staggering him. So I was like, oh dear. He was about to come over there. Because when he does that 3-part, when he shoots that fire like that, he normally charges at you. So I was ready for him because I was ready to drop those boulders back on there. But they end up staggering him, no big deal. I end up shooting them. We end up getting them to drop. I jump on my sacred trying to get over there. I already planned it. I seen how close it was. I was like, yep, we're dropping them. Boom. Look at this. There's a perfect example. I missed. This is not the first time this has happened to me. Type in the comments, guys. Has this ever happened to you? I had another time on that, believe that same side too, actually, on it, but it was on the left. And he was just on there, dropped right beside him on the left, man, in that corner. Still missed him. I'm not kidding you. It was like perfect, just like a glove like that. Guys, watch that video. Oh, you know, pause it if you want. Watch how close he was to that. And we missed. And that's the second time I've had something like that happen to me. Wild. And it tells you how good my team was here. Because we didn't get that drop. I'm already thinking this. So at this point, I'm on full hard mode. I am full blown mode at this point. I was taking this 100% seriously. Here's another trick. You run up to him like this, get underneath him. You can do major damage. You're going to see later on I drop him by doing that later on. I do significant damage. Normally I pull out there. I was being a little careless. He ended up tagging me. You know, so be careful there on it. That definitely can happen. So anyways, he does that. After he does 2-part combo, he's coming in for the charge. Bam, he goes over me. No biggie on that. I see where he's at off that, but I'm just charging him. We could have dropped it on it, but we didn't end up doing it. No big deal on it. I'm just trying to do damage on that. Really, what I like to do is drop one. Let one phase full through with his ult like this, and then drop the boulder again on the next after the ult is done. So you can get that damage. And then the third one, you need to kill him. You need to kill him before that third one comes off. Like I've said, this is every time I have completed him. You have to have him dead after the third ult, or before the third ult. You get 2. By that third one, if you guys ain't doing it, if you haven't killed him at that point, it's over. Most likely, unless your team is good enough that you can pull that damage. All you need is guard up level 3, and you'll break right through that. That's all that is on that, okay? So anyways, we're going through. All you gotta do is hold. As soon as he hits that, as soon as he hits the ground, you can let go. He will not hurt you. I know it looks so scary, but that's why I let go, because after that point, you're good on it. So I'm charging. I'm trying to get by his tail and his wings on it. A lot of this time, his tail drags really low to the ground, so I try to take advantage of that. I've been noticing this, so I've been trying to take advantage of that DPS on it, and actually, it's been working. I proved it again by beating him again on it. So, anyways, you just keep going, you know, because you want to cuff the tail anyways. It's going to drop them. Make sure you hit those too. Those things do extra damage, and you need that for the DPS. So there's more to it than just dropping those. It actually does more damage to him for each hit. And they're dropping a get out of free pod shot. You know, like, it's amazing. Drop those as much as possible Get as many of those. You're going to see them all over the place, littered all over on this round, on this fight. It's like I said, it's how it's done. You can see it. I didn't even grab all of them. There's a few of them already littered there, and you're going to see more on it. But just keep hitting them, keep hitting them, keep hitting them. As you can see, he's oiled up. I'm not using fire. I'm using dragon. I've been using dragon since I told you towards the beginning of the fight. I have not switched. This is what you guys need to do. I promise you, you've seen how fast we went through this. Because he damages by dragon. The fire only weakens him so you can do dragon damage. That's what people don't understand. You want to do dragon. Mostly dragon. And I've seen another few YouTubers point this out. And that was on the 9-star one. But it's no different in the 10-star one. It's even more so important because you need the damage to kill him. And I'm telling you, if everybody does this, you guys will complete it before the third ult. Like I said, if that third fire ult comes down, it's over. Unless you guys can pull that DPS by yourself without no drops. If you can't get a mount, try to get a mount. You'll see that in this run too as well. We get a mount. That's another great one because you get him drop, cut his tail, drop on that, get the 2 rock drops. Unfortunately, we missed one, and we still pulled this off. So it can be done. And this is even better. I like this because we missed one and we still got it. So this is great. This is great. So that means you saw when we didn't do that rock drop, that means we passed that whole phase without having that. But this is what he did right there. He mounts them. This is what was key. And I'm glad he did it. So like I said, we've got good teammates here. It's really nice to have teammates on it. Really what I do is try to look just for the highest level ones, you know, with good weapons that I know, like, yeah, they're gonna do some business, you know. It's the best thing to do. You know, just go with your gut, really. That's all you can do. You know, that's what I did. You know, and it worked out for me on it. And, yeah, just be sitting doing damage. He drops them. He's down now. Now, with the mount drop, he drops for a little while. Take advantage of this. Do your hardest hitting moves that you can. I'm sitting trying to hit this chest here because it's very hard since it's up in the air a little bit and I don't have a gun like a light bow gun or nothing like that or a bow to hit it. So I was trying to get that gone, and you end up seeing I got it right at the end. So anyways, I go back to the tail after that point because it's finished. Now when he flies up like that, you got to be careful. Normally I'll get as close to that fire or to that fire lava stuff over there on that side because then I know he won't hit me, and then go and fire because then I know I'm kind of safe for a few seconds, on it. Just be careful. Be careful when you do the double shot like that because that's where a lot of times people get hit. When he staggers like that, you need him to drop. See how you didn't drop there? We need to hit him more on it, okay? Now watch this. Watch what I do. I block him, and I'm running up. I'm trying to get him in the face. I think I missed this one on it. I wasn't close enough. You got to be really close to him, Like I said, I'm a very offensive player on this. I don't suggest this for everybody. It's very aggressive play style. I know this on it, but it does work, and you kind of have to. You kind of have to. This game, Capcom kind of made it this way, to be honest with you, just because of that DPS check. He kind of makes you got no choice. You really don't because of that DPS check. So anyways, I was waiting for it. Nobody drops it. So I look up and start, that's why I missed the first one because I was actually kind of like, why didn't nobody drop it, on it. And then so I got it. I seen that. I'm trying to take advantage of this because I know we need the damage, and then boom, get another one. 1800 damage between those two. He drops again. Beautiful. I'm sitting there going, I'm hitting it. I knew that was there, but I'm sitting trying to do as much damage as I can. I float over there. I think I hit it a little bit. He flies off. Here we go. Alt number 2. Here we go. This is right here. This is everything you worked for at this point. If you pass this run right here, this part right here, you're almost done. Don't give up. Once you get to this point and you pass it, don't go passive. I've seen dudes do this and they ruin it right at the end when the beautiful music is playing. Please be aware of that. Okay? Look what Mr. Greed did. I have no idea why he did this. He was getting so close to me. I wasn't, that bothered me. That's a little foreshadowing. You'll see what I mean. So anyways, we're hitting him on there. We cut his tail. His tail's cut. I see he's got a wound. Boom, cut the wound. Or pop the wound. I'm sitting there trying to get around. I'm trying to do as much damage as possible. I'm hitting his wings. It's all up. I'm still using dragon. Dragon. It's always been dragon. Be careful with those. Remember that. So I'm sitting there, go back to where his wings are. I know he's gonna flop them, so I'm just going towards his tail. Bam, bam, bam. Going through, trying to stay by him, make sure I don't get hit. Trying to be careful here. I'm watching my teammates, making sure that their health bars. Make sure your teammates survive too. Don't be greedy. These are the hardest stages. It's a team game. You guys got to be a team. Okay, you got to be careful on that. You know, if you see a guy, you know, not healing right away, he's in trouble and all that, heal him. If you got the heals, you know, and all that stuff, heal him. You know, there's nothing wrong with that on it. You got to be a team. You know, I just see that. I wish a lot of people would do that more. You know, sitting there, shoot him in the face. You know, he's still oiled up at this point. He roars. I did miss that one, unfortunately. On it, I'm far off. I'm far out from him. So I'm trying to see here. So I run up towards him. You can see he's lifting up. So now he's in the air. Now he's in his gas mode. I pull back at this point. Sitting there, I got tagged. So I got tagged. I lay there, just being safe, just in case he hits me again. Heal up again, not messing around. He'll do the full heal. Sitting there shooting him again. Fortunately, he didn't drop. So I'm sitting there shooting him some more. I run up to him, or no, I don't. I was trying to do a fast one there. That was a gamble. Don't do it. As you can see, that was proof right there. That wasn't even a charge one, and I still didn't have enough time, and he still hit me. So I definitely was learning a lesson. I won't do that one again. Like I said, sometimes you gotta see. This is what I'm talking about. How fast it takes. How long does it take to shoot the pod? Is it a charge shot? Is it a regular shot? You get what I'm saying? Same thing with your weapon. How fast is the swing on the Y to the B? You know, to all your other stuff, your movement, all that stuff, your rolls, all that. You know, you got to know how long it takes, the timing of it. It's no different for anything else. You know, I'm telling you, if you haven't paid attention to that, start paying attention to it right here. Here we go. Watch this one. I was set up perfectly for this. I was close enough. So I took advantage of it. You see how many times I hit him. I hit him quite a few. I drop him. He's dropped. I'm so happy right now because I know we needed this, and we got a full drop on a straight face shot, you know. So I'm like, yes. You know, like, I knew it. We're so close at this point, you know. The music's playing, you know. My heart's pumping, you know, and I'm sitting there trying to stay focused. Stay focused. Do not give up, and do not play passive. You need to be aggressive. Aggressive, offense, offense, offense. Like I said, this is a DPS check. Capcom's not going to go easy on you. We all know this. It's hard, you know. That DPS check ain't no joke. You know, if the whole team ain't you know, in the synergy level of doing damage there, you know. So be very aggressive. I know it's hard. I know that's controversial in its own right. Because, you know, some people don't like it with these types of fights like that. You have to be so aggressive because it can make you make mistakes. I agree, but it's a different discussion. I'm just talking about this fight here, what you got to do. And unfortunately, this is how you got to play them. You got to be very aggressive, but you got to be careful. You got to be aggressive, and you got to be careful at the same time. So you got to know how far to push it without getting yourself injured. That's the key, which means, yeah, you got to play him a few times to get used to his play style. So this is how it's got to be. It's how Capcom's done with all the fights anyways, you know. There we go. Music to my ears. Right here. When we had this right here, I knew it. I was like, we got it, we got it. He dies, Mr. Greed, like I said. I don't know what he was doing. He did it. That was the second time. You saw he did it earlier. I was very disappointed in him. But we did pull it out. He did good. I just don't know why he did that. You know, he really could have threw that off. And you see how look how fast we killed him right after he died. Like, he really could have threw that fight. And I've had that happen before, actually. Almost similar to that without killing him, you know. So, you got to be careful of that. But there you go, guys. You see it? It can be done with randoms. I did it myself. I ran this from the beginning on my own. I did not wait on it because I was trying to pull this for you guys. So, unfortunately, nobody else nobody else got the title on it. But, you know, I was trying to get this footage for you guys on it. You know, but it's a beauty. I hope you guys really do like it. I hope the color ends up being really good off that. I'm pretty confident this will be a pretty good video here on it. But yeah, the main thing is you got to be very aggressive. The first stage off that, you're hitting his face, you're hitting his wings. On a get those vents, get the boulder drop. Say it's you, get the boulder drop. Make sure you get the Dragonator hit. You get that. Make sure you get the Dragon gun. Rail gun thing off that. Hit him on that. Make sure it's fully charged. Just make sure the barrel's all the way up, or fully charged to the barrel or to the muzzle. off of it, and then fire that gun. That's how you know on it. And then on that third phase, man, you gotta be aggressive. You have to be, and have very, very high elemental dragon damage. You have to. I'm running a little over 700 in elemental damage with crit elemental and very high crit chance. That's how I'm doing it. That's how you get it done. That's how, and you see, I already got the title. Scarlet over there had it as well on it. Look at Mr. Greed over there. 52 times he healed us, so he was definitely a big help there. Definitely probably had the white spread there for sure. He definitely helped us on that regard. It is what it is there. I just couldn't believe that he did that. I don't know why he got so close to me. He should have known that. He knows if you're playing that. I'm sure there's no way it was his first time. You know that you get tick damage from getting hit with that. But it is what it is. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it on there. Like I said, my build is with the fire at the beginning, off of that, and then I switched to dragon in stage 1. Only a few minutes in after I pepper them up a little bit on it, soften them up on that. And after that point, I stay on dragon. Because everybody else probably using fire anyway, so I just want to get as much dragon damage as I can to get us through that stage as fast as possible. And it seems like it works. The ones that I've beaten them on, the ones that I've won, it tends to be in that playstyle right there. Pretty much to the exact T. Like I said, this was only 1 minute and 10 seconds slower than my fastest time I've ever beaten them. Personally. I understand people could beat them faster than that. But, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will definitely play more soon. And just stay tuned for the future. And you guys take care. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will definitely play more soon. And just stay tuned for the future. And you guys take care. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.